when you date that right person who kind of, not necessarily saying you're looking for completeness and fulfillment in them, but they have some intangible quality to help push and to help direct you to that place where you need to be. You know, they're the ones who they could potentially understand when no one else can understand, because everyone else is looking at you like you're nuts, you're crazy. Then they're like, it's Monday, we got this. Those are the type of people that you want in your life to help you on this journey that we're on.
Here are 3 reasons why you should not date a single mom. Reason number 1, sooner or later, she's going to expect you to take care of her child's needs. No, you're not doing another man's job. 2, if that child's acting like a little gremlin, you're not going to be able to discipline him the way you want to. And 3, you're always going to come second. All your desires and needs, out the window. So if you think you're going to have a fun time dating one, think again.
MGTow men, thank you for stopping by. As a result, I'd like to talk about 5 good reasons not to date women with kids. The fact that she has made some extremely poor decisions is the primary and most significant reason not to date a woman with kids. When you look at someone's past and the choices they have made in the past, you have to think to yourself, this is a predictor of the decisions and the quality of the decisions they're gonna make in the future. And that's correct, given the circumstances. If the lady was hitched to a man who was shipped off to war, it's not her shortcoming. She didn't do anything wrong. On the other hand, if she was just with a guy who wasn't the right kind of guy, and now she's single again, it might be because of her. Do you want to be associated with a person who has demonstrated such poor judgment? And would you be surprised if they demonstrated in other circumstances? As a result, you can gain insight into a person's future behavior by looking at their past. In addition, nothing could be worse for a mother than to abandon a child without giving it a loving and safe environment. It is clear to me that they have already failed fundamentally. She might be very attractive or something like that. That might be true. I've seen some very attractive single parents, which is fantastic. Anyway, let's move on to number 2. The second reason to avoid dating women with kids is that they will always put their children first. To put it another way, you can never be anything other than at best second rate. I think you are also aware that you will not even be playing second fiddle. After the circumstances, you will be the one to clean up. That's what you'll be. The janitor. To put it another way, you should stay away from a woman with kids who has already demonstrated poor judgment. To find out what she values most in life, you will have to wait a very long time. This is going to cause problems, manipulation, and frustration for you. Furthermore, absolutely nothing else really matters. Nothing can be expected. The third reason not to be with women with kids is that it is almost certain that she will also have financial issues. She will make poor choices regarding her life. She won't be worried about anyone else's life. She will also have financial difficulties. I'm hoping that you can anticipate some of the other problems that might come up in the future. The issue is that money problems rarely arise. Instead, it's about whether or not a person can control their appetite. Isn't that right? It doesn't matter if you have enough money to live within your means. The question is whether you are capable of self-control, and if so, whether you can teach yourself. Also, if you can do those 2 things, you can bring in money. But if you do them in a certain order, no matter how much money you get, you will lose it. It won't be enough. It shows everything. I hope that demonstrates abundantly that this is the complete picture. This could be viewed as a lesson, correct? Because she did not see the bigger picture, the woman with kids ruined everything. She has gotten together and brought forth a youngster, however. She can't enjoy herself or raise the child properly. So why should we carry it out? The idea is our society is showing compassion for this. I don't understand it. You may have more sympathy for the stupidity than you do for the people involved. In addition, if you had compassion for the people involved, you could educate them a little bit better. You would inform them. Wouldn't you like to assist them in avoiding dependence? Oh, it's just human nature for women to have children with the first man they fall in love with. The couple then suffers from an emotional issue that prevents the father from spending time with them and helping them raise the child together. Right? Furthermore, you are offering them the expectation of dependency at this point. By providing her with free money, you will only exacerbate the situation. Once more, let's say this lady who has a child by some off chance believes in the female movement now. She will believe now she truly doesn't need men. Do you understand what I mean? There is a significant clue right there. You have not only done something that someone else on every level will have to pay the price for, but you are also doubling down if the woman with kids has any leanings toward the female movement at all. Now you're making the mistake even worse. Do you understand what I mean? She is now unable to even say, maybe I could use a decent man. It resembles inspecting a blade. It might be a famous sword or cost a lot of money, but you need to look at how it was made. You must examine its performance. You must investigate what it has endured. You should also be able to see what's inside it. Although you won't be able to take an X-ray of a person's character, you can see what they've been through, how it has been shaped, where it originated, and their strengths and weaknesses. Now, we all share some weaknesses. Every aspect of our existence is based on this notion of pleasure. Isn't it true that we all want more for less effort? However, abuse occurs when this is taken too far, such as when a person who cannot control their appetite becomes overweight and fails to take care of their health. They wouldn't be able to hold any kind of self-image, so they can't even say where their problems are. As a result, as they move around, they are acting delusional. That's probably why you wouldn't want to be with a woman with kids, right? A broken sword should not be carried into battle. I'm referring, for instance, to a shattered sword. It probably won't be broken, yet it could have significant defects. One of the life lessons I've learned is that a person's character must be examined because it will ultimately show. Therefore, neither their words nor their possessions matter. Because these things demonstrate what they are, it has no bearing. This begs the larger question of how much luck affects a person's destiny. To be fair, it has a role to play. Would you like to say half? In a normal situation, 50% still indicates that good people with character, discipline, and vision will emerge. Even though their luck and fate may sometimes be against them, they are going to keep trying. They don't get excited about insignificant, fleeting rewards. The woman with kids is, therefore, someone who cannot deny their brief, fleeting desires from the perspective of a woman wanting to have children. Because you are aware that their needs and desires take precedence and are connected to their entire emotional physiology, you will be able to comprehend that. Yes, this is where men serve and worship women. And no, you are not helping them. Because I am in that kind of emotional state and am subject to their emotional whims, I believe the MGTOW approach is the only respectable one for a man to take. I argue that a man must first find his way before he can be with anyone else. Regardless, is that MGTOW or a man following in the footsteps of women? That seems like a weak strategy to me. That, in my view, is incorrect. I argue that women do not respect that. At the moment, we are also witnessing the women's contempt for the blue pill man. He is also being destroyed, along with the world of the blue pill. We are all in that lifeboat. As a result, the man now needs to go MGTOW. If he worships the woman, she will tear him apart. Society will too. Also, civilization will. He will date a pretty woman and take care of another man's child. Because children require love and a male role model, everyone will agree that it is a good idea. Of course I am correct. However, if that were the case, where is that male? Where might that one-of-a-kind have been? Why was he kicked out? Why are you being brought in as a replacement if this were true, if those principles were true, and if they were telling you to justify your sacrifice? If not, why didn't they initially hold on to them? They fell short. This is a result of quality. Do you understand what I mean? When bad people use another person's virtue to get what they want. As a result, that is precisely what is occurring right now. When you confront the government and inquire about its actions, Politicians are allowing all of these refugees in to harm native populations and their tax base. That does not violate morality. After all, it's the price of virtue, right? Because you are moral and see things that way. Instead, they are considering it from the point of view of a woman with kids. Is that correct? They are looking at it, ensuring that the following month's bills are paid. Isn't that what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a woman with kids then? You are dealing with a person who cannot plan for the future or exert self-control in the present. The fundamental lies here. Think you understand what I'm trying to say. They want you to follow them so that you can belong to that group and behave like a dependent. Are you suggesting that an individual should be held accountable for their actions, choices, and relationships? What does that imply? Yes, I am as well. Total personal accountability is what I propose. Nevertheless, I am aware that people are in the circumstances they are in and that these emotional situations can have a significant impact on them. And you don't even know about it when you're young. For example, let's say your parents are alcoholics. They will give because doing so would be beneficial. They are convincing you to perform various tasks, perform favors for them, and simplify their lives through manipulation and shame. What about this is the good thing? What were they supposed to accomplish that would help you? As a result, try to avoid being manipulated by bad people. I'm not implying that you lack virtue. Instead, rather than allowing others to manipulate you, I want you to use your virtue to improve the world. To look for people you think should interact with you. Then just stay friends. Make every effort to assist them. It makes no difference. However, you do not wish to care for another person's child. You ought not to do it. Let's also bring to light this comparison of the woman with kids. We are caring for these female developments and single parents, their kids, and their needs as a whole and necessities at the public level. However, these women, they are not our partners. They are neither our spouses nor our wives. They are not friends with us. They do not love us. They criticize, make people feel bad, and find fault. They employ guilt, shame, and attack to satisfy their needs by appealing to the virtue of civilization. They don't possess great qualities. Their needs indicate character flaws and weaknesses. They resemble a parent who maneuvers their youngster by offering politeness to them, dealing with them, and getting things done for them. Because raising that child to be strong and independent is the right thing to do. Sincerely speaking, many parents lacked qualities they want to instill, right? So it's not like they were able to instill those qualities, but they should have known about it. That their children were not the kind of people they wanted them to be, and that they wished their children were better people than they were. However, in some instances, they do not act that way. Naturally, there are many good parents in the world, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say about not helping women with kids, and I think it's a great comparison for what we as a nation and civilization are doing. I am sorry. You might now ask, who are you? If you do not provide women with kids with welfare, free food, and free services, they will starve to death and their children will suffer. They might also get a job. Do you understand what I mean? They could also just start managing their lives more effectively, or just start losing weight. Or, to put it another way, it's possible that they won't consider convenience to be their primary objective in life. Do you understand what I mean? They might begin similar activities and plan for the future. We make civilization and a nation possible. Guilt and an appeal to virtue are used by female movements and women with kids when people do not live and act in virtue. Only those who have abused their wealth should exhibit the virtue I'm referring to. You add to the improvement of the world by supporting them. That is what we should be doing. When we assist those who are incapable of taking care of themselves, we are failing the people we were supposed to care for.